be that mean to Harry Melling. He is like the sweetest individual in the world.
Because, yes, you played Harry, his name's Harry Melling, and you, I mean, that was exciting for you to do a scene with Harry Melling.
Small bit? Like,
yeah.
Big bit? Yeah,
Harry Melling was her Rihanna. Yeah. No, tell us why he meant so much to you.
Well, I learnt to speak English reading the Harry Potter books, so as lame as it sounds, those characters really were my first friends. So still a big fan of the Harry Potter franchise, love the movies. Oh my God, look at him!
He played Dudley Dursley. I mean, he's not an obvious one. Presumably people don't come up to him all the time.
He's still part of the universe!
And so what language were you speaking when you learnt to speak English through Harry Potter?
Spanish.
Oh, OK. And
yeah,
so,
I'm Argentine.
So when did you come to London?
When I was 6, but I only learnt English when I was 8, because I was convinced that if I didn't speak the language, my parents would have to take me home. And that failed miserably. So, yeah, had to learn.
And the chess set sales all over the world have gone through the roof. And Mel Gedroyd here, you've got into it, haven't you?
Yes, Anya, I've got to say, we have now started playing chess regularly in our household because of you. My daughters are really involved. It's fantastic.
Well, I have to tell you this. So this is going to sound really random, but being in Beth's headspace the whole time was quite an intense experience. Yeah. And I had never seen Bake Off before. And I clung to Bake Off whilst I was filming Queen's Gambit the whole time. Like, anytime I was in a costume change, I was watching Bake Off, so you were right there with me.
Anya, I'm not in it anymore.
I started from the very beginning, because I'd never seen it before.
Oh, hang on. Not Series 1, where the hairdos, the styling was terrible.
Series 1, lady, I was there.
Come on, Anya.
Classic Bake Off.
Classic Bake Off. It gets better, Series 3.
Canonical public service Bake Off.
Yeah.
You know.
You started out in theatre, and when you were a student, a theatre student, you had a mysterious benefactor, did you not?
Oh. Great expectations. Yes. I went to... I did a summer exchange at the British American Dramatic Academy at Balliol College in Oxford. I didn't have the money to pay for it, but one of my teachers at that time she would come in for a weekly class, Felicia Rashad, who a lot of people know from The Cosby Show. She would come in and do a class at Howard. And so she wanted us to, audition for this program. And, it was 9 of us. She got some of her friends to pay for it. And so my benefactor ended up being Denzel Washington.
Wow.
And so, I found that out.
Proper goosebumps. Did you pay him back?
You sound like him.
Sorry.
You sound exactly like him. So, the funny thing is he showed up at the New York premiere of Black Panther, and I had never told anyone, about that. Oh. And, he comes in the back, and he thinks he's sneaking in, and Ryan Coogler, the director, we're there, and I'm like, it's great to meet you, big fan of your work. Just wanted to tell you thank you for paying for me to go to Oxford. And he was like, oh, you owe me money, Yeah.
But also, and after Black Panther, you can pay him. It's there, yeah.
I just did a movie that he produced, and so he got me cheap,
Are your kids do they get what Mommy does?
They have no idea. They have no idea.
Have they ever seen you?
No, well, we went to see Cars 2 once. They're 5 and 3. And when we were standing in line for popcorn, it was at the same time that Johnny English Reborn was in the theatres. And so I was handed a box of popcorn that had me as the character on the front of it. And my little boy said, the 5-year-old said, Mom, it's you. And I said, shh. And he grabbed it and he started turning it around. I said, what are you doing? He said, where's Daddy?
So sweet. Like it's family popcorn.
Yeah, and that's the extent of it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Because as a young child, you played football, but like to a really high level. You could have been a professional.
I was pretty decent. Yeah,
Me too.
yeah.
So, did you really?
No way. Who for?
I'm joking.
Oh, thank God. That's the only one. Do you like football?
I do like football.
June?
Yes, I do.
Do you watch it?
I do. I watch it when it's the thing that happens every 4 years.
Well, even Not the Olympics, the other one.
Yes.
And I think, you know, on a movie like this, you're spending all this time together, you have to get on, you are buddies. But on Silence of the Lambs, is it true that... Did you never speak to Anthony Hopkins?
No, never spoke to him. He was scary. I mean, the first day we had a reading, we had like a little read-through, and I got there early, and then I went to the bathroom, and I came back, everybody was sitting down, we did the read-through of the film, and by the end of it, I never wanted to talk to him again. I was petrified. And so then we did the whole movie. He was always behind the glass partitions, or he was in his cell, and because the scenes were so long, they'd kind of lock him in at the beginning of the day, and he'd go there, and then the next day, he'd be on the other side, and I'd be on this side. And we got to the end of the movie, and it really had never had a conversation.
But you never passed backstage in a corridor?
No, I avoided him as much as I could. I really avoided him. And then I was eating a tuna fish sandwich. It was the last day, and he came up to me, and I guess he was sidled up to me, and I said, I don't know. I sort of had a tear in my eye. I was like, I was really scared of you. And he said, I was scared of you. I think it's funny because why would anyone be scared of me? I don't know.
So when you were filming the scene, you know, I'm available.
Would you do that again?
When you were filming the scenes when he was behind the partition, while they were reset cameras, you just sat there.
Well, yeah, because he was screwed in. I couldn't get to him. He was behind the glass.
Did he stare at you?
Sometimes he did.
You?
Man, why do you always say my name like that?
Well, no, because...
What have I done now?
No, this is good. No, John got his Star Wars cash, and I don't know where you hit, but you hit a shop, a wonderful shop, and you have bought some stuff. So you very kindly brought some pictures of some of the things you bought.
I did,
So your bed, at the bottom of your bed, what have you got?
I've got some lions, sculpture of some lions.
So his bed is guarded by lions. But no, those are like trinkets compared to what else we've got.
But the reason why I bought that is because I feel like my spirit animal is a lion. I just feel that. You know, I am African. I am...
Yes.
Every.
Okay, so that's why you bought the lions.
Yes.
Why did you buy the saxophone lamp?
Man, to be honest with you, there's no reason for that, man. That was glorified nonsense. I can't lie to you.
No, I don't mean to criticize. No.
I was in Australia, and this dude just told me that there's a saxophone with a light bulb with it.
Yeah.
And something in my brain said to me, buy.
Yes.
Buy.
You need that.
By the way, I made a lamp out of my father's clarinet.
Oh,
so,
cool.
right?
So you know how that was made? Because I had no idea how to put it together.
Well, we have a thing. It has something to do with something that we share.
You're like a lion.
I'm like a lion, kind of. Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
But how about that?
Okay,
you have a
cool. saxophone
lamp, and I have a clarinet lamp.
Yeah.
And Goldie, can I just ask you, do you have a more attractive bulb in yours? Well, that is an ugly-ass bulb, John. Like, that's one of those economy, light-saving ones.
It's environmentally friendly. Yeah, it's environmentally friendly.
I would find a little clip-on shade, maybe, or something that just...
Now, then, we've been in the bedroom. We've now, I don't know where that is, but we've walked past that.
That's my living room.
Living room. And where do we find this?
That's in the corridor.
Okay.
That's in the corridor.
Is it an antique?
Nah, I just got it off Gumtree or something, do you know what I mean?
Okay.
But it's just a replica of a Spartan helmet. And
did it come with the plinth, or did you buy that separately?
Nah, I bought that separately.
Okay.
He's
putting it together.
Yeah, put it together.
But now.
Put it together.
Is there a light inside?
No, there isn't. I'm just a big fan of weird things. I told you I'm 73 deep down.
Wait, though. Here's the exciting bit.
Have you ever put it on?
You're in John's house, you want to go to the loo.
Yeah, you want to
So
go to the
you've seen the lions, you're excited, the saxophone lamp is brilliant. I really enjoyed that helmet on the way to the toilet.
Give it to
You
him.
get into the loo.
Okay.
You sit down. You do your business. You need a little bit of toilet paper. In John's house, this is who gives it to you.
Boom!
That is amazing. I love that.
I wish I was with you. It's very surreal. It's very surreal, being sort of knowing that I'm about to appear on the screen behind you, and also quite creepy, I would say.
Well, now, when we have people on Zoom, I say, where are you? And normally it's, oh, LA or New York or something. But you have an interesting, unusual answer. Where in the world is Rosamund Pike?
She is in snowy Central Europe. Any guesses from our studio contestants as to which capital city
I mean, I don't know.
I'm in?
which shed, which Central European shed you've found.
No, I'm in Prague.
Oh, OK.
Yeah.
So you and your husband and your kids, you're all there, and you've been learning a language, is this right?
Well, yeah, I have been trying. Well, I've got my kids homeschooling me because my kids speak Mandarin, and I don't, and they grew up bilingual really because my partner thought that if he was going to have kids more kids, he had 4 already. He thought it might be exciting to talk to them in a language he didn't already know, so he taught himself Chinese from the ground up in a very sort of, well, you could call it brilliant, or you could call it, really stubborn, or you could call it a kind of desire for single parenting, because, he's basically talking to them in a language that I don't understand. So I thought that maybe lockdown was an opportunity for me to catch up. And so that's been. I should really be learning Czech. I am aware of the irony of living in the Czech Republic and learning Chinese.
Can you give us some Mandarin?
Well, there's this thing that my kids. I said I think Graham might want to hear something in Chinese. I said, what do you think I should say? And they said, 脱裤子放屁. And I said, oh, great, that's great. What does that mean? And they said, that's the act of taking your trousers off to fart.
Oh, wow.
And I said, well, that's perfect.
We've got to love any nation, any people that have a verb for that.
And they said, so that can be lobbed at, someone who's, maybe for you, Gordon, if you put in a sort of ingredient that's unnecessary, or you just, you go through a stage in a recipe that's just a bit too far, that would be like taking your trousers off to fart.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. It's like butter on bacon, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I could teach. Well, I should have got them to teach you really. Anyway, I think that's a useful phrase. If you're going to know one thing in Chinese, that's not bad.
Yeah. And obviously, as actors, you're getting into kind of, the emotional truth of the scenes and all those things. But equally, you've got to be like Charles and Diana. So what are the shortcuts to get into, say, Charles? What are the shortcuts?
Right. It goes right.
Okay. Get ready.
Poke him with a stick. Spitting image, off we go.
OK. So there's a couple of things that I I didn't spend too long kind of dwelling on the little Charles things. But there was one thing I noticed that every time he got out of a car, he'd do this thing, still does it now. I saw something recently where anyway, he gets out of the car and he goes, cuff link. So he goes, checks the cuff link, checks his pocket square, and then waves. So every time he goes to a public event or anything, it's cuff link, pocket square.
I wonder if he's ever not had his pocket square and then it's completely floored him. He doesn't know how to move.
Back in the car.
Sounds like an Nadal serve.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Slightly less than.
Yeah, without the grunt when he waves. Yeah.
And he does speak in a very kind of because it must have been hard not to just do an impression, because people do impressions of him.
I think so much about The Crown is sort of doing a bit of that sort of work. I don't know what you think, Emma, but I think it's kind of finding little things that make people feel safe in the knowledge that you're not just doing something random performance.
Different.
But you feel like it is, you recognise something of Charles. So with Charles, for instance, he does a thing with his voice where he sort of like speaks. So everything's like through teeth.
Yes.
Yeah, and actually Emma's amazing at it. So good. We have competitions who could do better Charles and Diana, and I'm rubbish at Diana, but she's very good at Charles.
What are the shortcuts for Diana?
Diana's, for her voice, is mainly that everything goes down at the end. So her pattern of speech, so it's sort of like, well, my word to get into her was always all right. All right. Yeah. That's just what I'd say before everything, all right. But then everything she says sort of always goes down at the end, so it's almost like even if she had the best time ever, it would always sound a little bit sad.
That is very good, isn't it? Very good.
You're good at it, though.
I used to spend most of my time trying to perfect my all right.
Oh, do it.
Hang on.
You do it with a tilt, though, head tilt.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's not as good.
But you've had some practice now with the big celebrity, because obviously the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
So who did you meet at the Golden Globes?
How long you got, man? It's just like, so many.
Did you meet these guys at the Golden Globes?
No. I met her before these awards, Governors Awards, and she was really cool, and we just spoke about stuff. It was really nice. Yeah. And then, but no, I met Oprah.
Good story.
It was he was really nice. She was a nice person. It was cool. That's like
I couldn't believe he was English because his accent was so flawless in Get Out, and I was like, oh my God. And anytime I meet anyone who's English, I'm just immediately like, I love London. I miss it. Do you live there?
Oh,
yeah.
So you
I
talk
do.
about London. Yeah.
We talk about London.
Yeah. And then I met. That's what happened, yeah. I met Denzel. I met Denzel and Oprah at the same time. It was just this segue. It was just this I don't know, like African-American excellent segue or black I don't know what happened. It's like Denzel came up to me and was like, he came to me in English accent. He was like, yeah, mate, yeah, cheers, mate. And I'm like, what's happening? How do you know who I am? And he was like, and then he went to his wife like, he thinks I don't know who he is. And then he goes, come meet Oprah. And then I was like, all right, cool, we're gonna meet Oprah, let's meet O. And then I just, I hugged her. I hugged her so tightly. She felt so good, man. She felt good.
Apparently she smells she has an amazing smell.
She smells amazing, Graham. Like, I swear, Oprah is just premium.
Can the rest of the crowd... you must have all met Oprah. Does she smell amazing?
I've never met Oprah, but when I do, I'm going to hug her for sure. I smell her at the Golden Globes, but she was too far away.
You got to inhale deeply. Inhale deeply.
Sniffing near
Yeah, now I know why there was suddenly such a nice smell in the room.
And Olivia, we should say, you literally join us tonight, hot foot from the set of your other Queen job, QE2, in The Crown.
Yes.
And where are you? Are you nearly finished, or...?
Feels like we're nearly at the end, which feels like the longest bit, you know, and we've been going for months. And,
Yeah. But you're nearly there.
Nearly there.
Nearly there.
Yeah.
And for you, because it seems to me that because of the way this is happening, you're basing it on kind of two people. There's obviously the real Queen Elizabeth.
Yes.
But then are you in any way having to be a continuation of Claire Ford?
Yeah, my first few weeks I was just trying to do an impression of Claire. So I was thinking, what would Claire do? I had to channel Claire. And then now we're sort of so busy, I've forgotten, so I might not be doing anything like the Queen or Claire now.
But isn't there a thing that, because the mobility of your face is not something that our lovely Queen shares.
No.
Yeah. So, how hard is that for you?
I'm suspended from the ceiling. It's quite hard. Well, so if other characters are saying something that's sad, I naturally can't help myself. I go and burst into tears, which is not what the Queen does. She is our rock.
Not often.
She is not often. Well, not caught on camera.
Yeah.
And so they film quite a lot from the back of my head on those days. And also, they've come up with a trick. So they give me an earpiece and they play the shipping forecast to me. So I just have to try and tune into the shipping forecast. and that, which is rude, because I'm not really listening to my fellow actors. I was trying not to listen to them.
That's good. We'll remember that when we watch it.
Yeah.
I hope you can faintly hear it.
Yeah.
It's like it's done in the next room.
And I have to say, what's happened to you is just amazing. It's wonderful, you know, that you're very successful in this country and much beloved, but now you see kind of the world discovering you. But now you see you in things like Vogue and all these things, doing high fashion shoots and stuff. Like, is this what you dreamt of? Is this when you thought, at last, at last, they
cover of Blue Homo Vogue?
No. That's... I love my job very much. I love it. I love going to work, which is, I know, very lucky.
Yeah.
But the other stuff is a bit embarrassing, isn't it?
But do you have to do it? Do you have to kind of rock up?
You have to do it. I think I've been sort of persuaded to do it. I don't really know. Do you know if you have to do it? I think they tell you.
You have to do quite a lot.
They tell you have to do it.
Yeah.
You do a lot.
Yeah, she has to do it.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it.
But do they say...
But they persuade
Oh, no,
us.
you have to.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I do. But then suddenly you find yourself...
It's important.
Try
Is
that.
it?
Yeah.
They say that?
They say that. It's
yeah, they do
important.
say that a lot.
They said you had to do this, right?
Yeah. Even I've been told I have to do this.
Genuinely...
Even they've been told they have to do this.
But this is genuinely one of the things that's really enjoyable to do.
Oh, bless you.
I mean that.
Oh, that's very nice. Drink up. Happy New Year. No, but didn't you? You had your own cocktail.
I had the margarita. and
You could have gone with Ruffalo, but no, margarita.
But I ended up having, you know, I'd start early and I'd had my Thursday night crowd.
Yeah.
Partially because, and I'm sorry, Sean McPherson, wherever you are, I gave away a lot of free drinks. It wasn't a great quality in a bartender.
But you were good dealing with drunk customers, which is
I had to deal with a lot of drunk people, yes. And sometimes they were not very nice.
Oh, no.
There'd be nights where I'd be up to my eyeballs in a-holes. I'm
saying nothing.
Should I keep going?
I don't know what
that's supposed to mean.
What?
Wait, what? What did I say?
Nothing.
Is that a spoiler?
No.
Is everyone...
No. Nothing.
Is Marvel gonna call me?
No. So, no, wasn't there a guy who wanted... wasn't there a drunk guy...
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. Wasn't there a drunk guy?
It wasn't that kind of bar.
Wasn't there a drunk guy who wanted Sambuca?
Yes, there was.
OK, so tell us about him.
So occasionally, you would get someone who was so obnoxious, and it was the end of the night, and this guy came in, and he's like, all right, and he was wasted, and he was such an a-hole. And he's like, I want a Sambuca. I'm like, come on, man. You're doing OK. He's like, give me a Sambuca. And...
Did he hit his knee like that?
That's
the bar?
I thought, yeah. Give me a Sambuca. I'm like, OK. So I pour him the Sambuca. Light it! I'm not going to light your drink, man. I don't like drinks. OK, you want to light your drink, you light your drink yourself. Light it! OK. I light the drink. He takes it. And it goes all over his face, dripping down his face, blue flames everywhere. And I'm trying not to laugh. And he beats the hell out of himself to get it out. Give me another! Oh, sure thing. Want me to light it for you? Yes! Same thing all over again. It was one of the greatest nights.
I sort of like him for having another one.
I loved him. He walked out with like a flaming red goatee.